Recently, I was given the opportunity for an early access playtest of the Elder Scrolls Online's latest chapter called Necrom. I was invited by Zenimax Online Studios out to San Francisco for a special event along with other ESO YouTubers and Twitch streamers, and had an amazing time, but best of all, I was able to test out this latest chapter for a few hours and give my feedback to the devs on everything I'd experienced. What I can say is that Necrom is by far the most ambitious chapter release in the history of ESO for several reasons, which I'll dive into in this video, but suffice it to say I am extremely hyped for what's coming to the game this year, and here's why I think you should be too. Number one on that list, of course, is the new Arcanist class. Now, as most of you probably know by now, the Necrom chapter will include a brand new class for ESO, the first new class added to the game since 2019. Long overdue in my opinion, but the journey has definitely not been easy. Something I learned from the ESO combat designer and Arcanist lead Brian Wheeler was that the entire process of bringing this new class into the game has taken more than 2 years from start to finish. In fact, a lot of changes in ESO had to happen first before the Arcanist class could even begin to take shape, including just freeing up enough memory within the game's engine itself to be able to build in new visual effects and animations to make the Arcanist truly feel unique. Basically, bringing this class into ESO has been a long, labor-intensive process, but this is also great news for us as players because this means that everything about the Arcanist class, from its insane visuals, its creepy aesthetic and sound design, and even how the class's skills work with each other, is completely 100% new to ESO. Crafted with amazing attention to detail, and take it from me, it is a blast to play. So I was given a limited amount of pre-recorded Arcanist gameplay to show you guys for this video, and that footage does not do this new class justice at all. As I said in the intro, the Arcanist is not a reskin of other existing ESO classes, but actually feels very fresh and new. I mean, the animations and visual effects are intricate, really well designed, and the sound effects that the audio team created for this class are pretty insane. I mean, the whole effect here is to create this cosmic horror vibe, with the elements of Hermaeus Mora and the Black Books of Ancient Knowledge thrown in a way that feels completely unique, but still fits with the chapter theme itself. Even though I've basically had everything unlocked for my playtest in the Necrom chapter, all the zones, new companions, everything, I probably spent, 95% of my time just playing and enjoying the Arcanist class, testing out all the abilities, soaking in the visuals and the sound effects, and I honestly didn't want to stop playing. This class is very addicting. Now, speaking of the Arcanist class skills, I won't have time to break them all down for you here in this preview, but I will have plenty of new information over on the website, that's hacktheminotaur.com, in our full Arcanist class guide. Link will be in the description down below, so make sure to check that out after you watch this video. And what I will say here is that the Arcanist class toolkit is by far the most complete in the game when it comes to filling out your build. From dealing damage to heals to buffs to utility, everything you need to create any type of build is represented here. And actually, some of the other YouTubers and streamers I was with at the time joked that you could probably make some great builds for any role in the game with just Arcanist skills and nothing else. It's really that good. This idea and this focus on class skills is further enforced by the unique Arcanist class mechanic called Crux, which I've talked about in other videos. It's basically a combo point system where some skills build up your Crux points while other skills will spend those Crux points for improved effects. So basically what that means is you'll always want to be casting Arcanist skills, either builder skills to max out your Crux points, or spender skills for that bonus damage and other bonus effects. It's a cycle that actually feels really good and effective during combat. During my playtime, I also discovered even more unique mechanics with the Arcanist, which make the class stand out, like the channeled beam attack Rune Carver, which I've covered in another video. Rune Carver differentiates itself from the Templar beam because you can aim it anywhere you want, passing through to hit multiple enemies, or even sweeping it across the battlefield in an arc to hit larger groups. Another example of new and improved skill mechanics we saw with the Arcanist was the ability called Tome Bearer's Inspiration, which has a morph that provides major sorcery and brutality passively while slotted, but the buff remains even when you switch bars. This has never been done with a skill before to my knowledge, and me and Skinny Cheeks were both nerding out on this a little bit, hoping this new mechanic eventually finds its way to other classes as well. Another interesting tidbit here we discovered was that several Arcanist skills actually change their cost, not based on the morph choice, but rather intelligently based on which resource pool is higher for your build. This was true, for example, of the main DPS skill Rune Blades. So for example, if your build has 30k stamina and 15k magicka, the skill would cost stamina to cast and vice versa. Another really cool mechanic. As I said, there's way too much to cover on the Arcanist within this video, which is just a short preview. If you'd like to learn more, make sure to hit that subscribe button with your notifications turned on, as I will be working on a huge Arcanist class deep dive very, very soon. On to the second hype factor for this preview, and that is the new chapter zones. Now notice here I said zones plural, as the Necrom chapter is not just one story zone, but is actually made up of two entirely different and unique locations never before seen in ESO. That is the Telvanni Peninsula, featuring the main city of Necrom, as well as Hermaeus Morris, realm of Apocrypha. Now obviously, if you like Morrowind and those Vardenfell vibes, you're going to like the Telvanni Peninsula zone a lot. I personally did not spend a ton of time here though, because I was much more interested in checking out Apocrypha, and this zone does not disappoint. I actually died in probably the first 2 minutes of landing in Apocrypha. There's actually some pretty dangerous stuff here, including group encounters and wandering world bosses, so that was nice to see. But overall, I was just extremely impressed with the visuals and the creature design. So obviously a lot of weird stuff here that is completely new to ESO, like floating books with tentacles, and many other alien-like creatures. And I was also surprised to find that Apocrypha is not just the green and sort of dark and swampy area that we'd already seen in the trailers, but that there's another biome as well, completely different, that we've never seen before, and you're seeing a bit of it now in this preview footage. This is Zos's own take on a chromatic, almost rainbow-like addition to Apocrypha that players can discover as they venture further into the zone. And I don't remember the specific name for this area, but it's going to be one of the first I try to find again once the chapter goes live, because it was so insanely beautiful. You can also expect everything that you're used to in a full ESO chapter release. That of course includes delves, public dungeons, a new trial, new sets, new juicy mythics, 2 new companions, an Arcanist and a Warden companion specifically, and several hours of story content to discover. So all in all, I think it's going to be amazing. I will of course do a full review once I have more time spent in the chapter, probably over the next few weeks, as PTS should be going live very, very soon. But overall, I really enjoyed what little I got to playtest. I think Necrom is definitely shaping up to be my favorite ESO chapter so far, and I also think a lot of people are going to feel the same way. I want to give another huge thanks to Zenimax Online for bringing me out to playtest and give feedback. Of course, if you want to see more Necrom content, make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button, because we'll be dropping lots more video content and also written guides and builds over on the website. That's hacktheminotaur.com. Thanks again to all of you for watching. I hope you're doing well. Stay safe out there, and I will see you around in the next video.